Hello everyone, I'm Sailaja Menon. I'm a counseling psychologist at Open Minds. Today we are going to talk about decision fatigue and if decision fatigue is the twin of burnout. Before we start talking about this topic, let's take a minute to reflect on what does a burnout actually feel like. Most of us have gone through a burnout in our lifetime. It could be work-induced or it could be induced by our emotions. For example, feeling numb about work, emotionally distancing ourselves, experiencing physical symptoms like headaches or stomach aches, feeling drained, feeling lethargic, lack of energy, difficulty concentrating, and a total lack of creativity. These are just a few of the outcomes. All of these symptoms start arising when we are exposed to prolonged work hours or unmanageable tasks, multiple decision-making situations, unreasonable deadlines, and working on tasks that are not particularly our expertise. Burnout can appear for something very different. Now that we are in a lockdown and in a prolonged state of crisis, experts are starting to call this phase decision fatigue. Think about it. Most of us will agree that although we are not engaging in anything that seems time-bound or with deadlines, we are all in a constant state of decision-making. We are preoccupied with life and death decisions of keeping our loved ones and family safe. We are working through decisions of the very basics of existence, such as cooking a meal, cleaning house, doing laundry, etc. In addition, we are now dealing with a few more decisions that we have to be vigilant every day. Do I wear gloves? Do I wear the mask? Do I wash down the groceries when I bring it home? Do I wipe down the bags that brought the groceries in? What about the cardboard boxes that was delivered by Amazon? Or do I wipe down the door bolts and handles? What about my shoes? Do I leave it out or bring it in? These decisions are constantly on your mind and they are 24 hours, 7 days a week and only continuing day after day. I hear that many do not find enough hours in a day to get things done, contrary to what we all think that at a time like this, being at home and having the time at our disposal, we should be much more relaxed and at a better pace. But on the contrary, we feel overwhelmed, tired, lethargic, and unable to concentrate and go to bed and wake up feeling exhausted and tired. Do you see the parallel of a burnout here? Yes, very much. It's a constant psychological stress that puts immense mental strain, considering our days in the past weeks has now become so monotonous with no clear sense of when and how this could get better and get back to normalcy within a certain time frame. Therefore, days in the week has become today, yesterday, day before yesterday, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. We have lost count of the days and dates of the week. We are in a constant spiral of decision making which varies from borderline life or death on one end of the spectrum and then basic survival decisions like breakfast, lunch and dinner on the other end. Everyone is trying hard to figure out how to exist in this new world. Trying to structure our day and priorities is becoming a challenging task, especially when our home turf has become an all-in-one, isn't it? Home, office, school, and last but not least, our self-isolation prison. No me time for quite some time. The decision fatigue accompanied with the pressures that we are put through to make informed, responsible, smart decisions and choices about our well-being for ourselves, our families, and our community has in some ways led to a pandemic-specific burnout, alias decision fatigue. Please remember, experiencing some emotional exhaustion and anxiety is normal. But the problem is that many of our usual coping mechanisms have vanished. For instance, taking a walk, going to the gym, meeting a friend, and talking things out, to name a few. Getting back to some of our usual coping mechanisms might take time, so it's important for each one of us to find alternative ways to de-stress and de-fatigue. They have to be what works for you. It can be, for example, just sitting in silence or finding a comfort corner in your home and just doing nothing, or doing yoga, or reading a book, listening to music, paint or draw, or even binge on Amazon Prime, or even eat a whole bag of chips. Whatever works for you. The focus is making sure that you stay the course and combat your decision fatigue with a few workable tips. The objective here today is to limit your number of daily decisions. So let's see how we can do that with some few tips and tools. To start off with, the first one would be making fewer decisions. Learn to recognize the difference between urgency and emergency. Review how important it is to make a particular decision today. If that decision can wait, let it wait. Everything in life cannot be top priority for it to be done now. Number 2, delegate your decisions. Hand over some of the decisions you usually make, work or home related, to another colleague or family member during this lockdown. Your plate might already be full. Ask for help and develop a team spirit with your office colleagues and within your home. Number 3, make big decisions first thing in the morning. This is the best time of the day. You're just waking up, you have much of the day ahead of you to still work with, and therefore there's a sense of feeling that you can achieve much more. So get it done first thing and one less thing to worry about. Number 4, limit your options and keep the decisions simple. You already have a lot to handle and your mind is constantly in a state of alert with decisions to make. For example, if you were to go into a grocery store to pick up something that you need to make your dinner, this might not be the time for you to go over all the different aisles and look at different items that you need to purchase. You want to make sure that you go into the grocery store and pick up what is the most important ingredient that you require for that dinner. Pick that up, look at it as the most useful item that you need to pick up, and at the same time that it's economical for you. Pick that item and walk out of the grocery store. Your decision needs to be that simple for right now. Not more than few minutes to pick up that particular ingredient that you require for your dinner, because current situation warrants quick decisions. Number 5, set deadlines to execute your decisions. This will give you a sense of progress and completion. All the more, it will also help you to visually cross out one decision off from your checklist. Go minimal. Drop the excess commitments out of your life. Take a look at your list. This is a very uncertain time in everyone's life and has its own level of stress. So having fewer tasks on your plate will lead to fewer decisions, and this will help you to feel in control of the choices you make. Number 7, routine. I see this as a very, very important tip. Routine. Establishing daily routines will help you to minimize and simplify your choices. Having firm habits and a strict routine will help you to put certain decisions on autopilot. For example, your day-to-day things that you do, which is waking up time, your meals, your office work time, your exercise and relaxation time, your going to bed time, etc. Instead of leaving all of these decisions in a very loose-ended manner. These are major decisions, and these decisions need to be off your plate because it's part of your routine. Therefore, put them on autopilot. So keep a routine, it's a must. Number 8, the last but not the least, aim for good enough than perfection. We often get trapped in our mind box that everything we need to do needs to be perfect. You will agree that puts us in a lot of pressure to do things right, because if we don't do it right, wrong thing will ruin everything. It's okay if your meal is burnt or your child is glued onto the computer longer than agreed, or your spouse did not get the dishes done as agreed or as committed. That's okay. Take a deep breath, let it go, as these are very little things in the bigger picture. Focus on what you got accomplished. And remember, it might be a lot more than you expected. So be gentle and be kind to yourself. Celebrate it. It's all about pushing through one day at a time now. And that's all your focus needs to be. So as we come to the end of the talk, and before we come back to you with another interesting topic, I'm signing off here. Stay home, stay safe.